Hey, it's Jen Mack, Lady of the Mind. Welcome to Life Mastery Decoded, where I help you decode the struggles in your life in the areas of health, wealth, relationships, and spirituality with mind mastery, emotional management, and meditation. Welcome to today's podcast. Hey, ladies, it's Jen Mack, Lady of the Mind. Welcome to today's episode, where I hope I am finding you easily making decisions. If you're not easily making decisions, then it is my intention that in today's episode, I give you one nugget of inspiration towards your transformation. So welcome to today's episode. And listen, I am a decision maker like a holy moly, but it is because I have learned to tap into my intuition, because I am on a path to somewhere. I'm not always sure exactly where I'm going all of the time, but I will tell you this. I know that I have a purpose on this planet because that fire has been lit in my belly and I am on my way. I can see things in the future, things that I want to experience, and I feel like I have the right vehicle to help me get there. But if you don't know what you're doing, if you don't know where you're at, if you don't know where you're going, and you don't feel like you have a purpose, here are a couple of tools I'm going to give you today to help you to tap into your intuition. If you've been listening to my podcast so far, I do hope that you have been beginning and sustaining a meditation practice, because as we move along on this journey on this planet, one of the best things you can do for yourself is to be able to learn and gain that guidance from your intuition. Because as soon as you can do that, you will also be making strides in living your purpose and creating that joy in your life. And a way to do that is by tapping into your intuition. And so I want to give you a couple of ways to do that. One, let's first start with picking something that you want to do, a goal that you want to accomplish. It doesn't matter what that goal is. And then I'm going to give you a couple of very powerful tools to help you to gain the directions. Because I have learned as an entrepreneur not to take a map from another entrepreneur, because they might be in Chicago and I'm stuck in Detroit. And if I take a Chicago map while I'm stuck in Detroit, I'm not going to get very far, right? I'm looking for roads that are non-existent. So if I try to follow somebody else's path that they have laid out for me, I may go in the wrong direction, creating a detour for what could get me to my goal a lot faster. Does that make sense? If I'm following somebody else's path, that means I'm following someone else's intuition. So I am not one to say, hey, do this, do this, do this. I give you some tools, pick ones that work, play with them a little bit and see what works for you. Because I have some tools that I'm like, I like this tool. I like using it, but it's not my most powerful. I like using this tool. But then I give that one to Amy and she's like, meh, I don't really like that tool, but I do really like this one. So me helping you to tap into your intuition is going to be a faster way to guide you than if I were to say, I did A, B, and C, and you should do A, B, and C. When maybe you should be doing D, E, F or C, B, A. Are you following me so far? So tapping into your intuition, I did a podcast a couple of weeks ago about tapping into your intuition, and I hope you have listened to that one. That gives a lot of tools and perspective on what you can do to bring that connection between you and your higher self a little bit more in this physical world. Because as soon as you can open that line of communication, you are well on your way. And that podcast is from season 4, number 29, How to Tap into Your Intuition. So if you're needing a little bit more assistance after this podcast episode, then I would suggest going over there and checking that one out. Okay, so what you're going to do is pick that goal. Find that thing out there that you're striving for. Something that, it doesn't matter, something in the area of health or your career or your relationships, whatever it is that you're looking for, and see if you can't get a very good image in your head of what it would be like to have that thing. So let's say you want to lose 20 pounds. So now go out into the future using your imagination, picture the thing. Picture your body, how different it would feel if you lost 20 pounds, how it would feel with you being in it, how it would look, how when you look in the mirror, what you're going to see, what new clothes you can wear, everything that you can imagine pulling into that visual, okay? Then from there is where we start tapping into intuition. How do I get there? What are the steps? And so I want you to practice something. I want you to stand up and I want you to make decisions, ask questions, yes and no questions, and feel how your body feels. How do I feel when I answer this question? Okay, so here's how this goes. You stand up and you imagine a circle, okay? And you're just one of your yes or no questions. Yes is the inside of the circle and no is the outside of the circle. So for example, let's say I want to lose 20 pounds and I have this meal in front of me. And I say, or this restaurant, let's say I want to go to. I'm standing up, I'm breathing in, and I'm bringing my awareness to how my body feels on the inside. And I say, I step forward, and I basically, when I step forward, it's making the commitment that says, yes, I'm going to do this thing. So I step forward, I have my health in my mind, and would me going to this restaurant help me in my weight loss goals? And I step forward. Yes, it would help me with my weight loss goals. So I step in, I say, yes, this would help me with my weight loss goals. And then I feel how my body feels. If my body feels good, then the answer is yes. And I step backward and say, I'm not going to that restaurant because it's not going to help me to reach my goals. What I'm trying to do by this activity, by doing this activity, is I'm trying to tap into a higher perspective. Because down here in the physical space, I have a hard time seeing how do I get to my goal? What is the quickest, fastest way to get there? Without taking detours, without taking other people's ideas, how can I be sure that this is the quickest way to reach my goal? So by doing this, I'm feeling how my body feels. This is about us going with our gut instinct. We have used our gut instinct for years and years and years, especially as women. We are definitely tapped in to our intuition, more so than men. And I'm only thinking the reason is because we are a little bit more on the emotional side instead of the logical side. When we're on the emotional side, we are feeling our feelings, where the boys are more logical. So they don't tap into their emotions like we do, which I think makes it, we are more naturally intuitive than men. So if you are a woman listening to this, you are well on your way already. Now we just need to put it into practice. With this activity, you can do this with anything, any decision you want to make. You could do it with, if you're wanting to improve your relationship, if you're wanting to make a business decision, do I go with this company over here, or do I make this purchase, or do I go to this show, or do I take this job? Do I go on this date? Do I go with this person? Do I partner? Do I hire this person, or do I hire this person? Okay. So let's give another example. Let's talk about like if you're going to hire somebody. So you stand up, feel how your body feels, find that neutral place. You step forward and say, I am going to hire Sheila. Feel how you feel. Okay. Step backwards. I am not going to hire Sheila. Feel how you feel. Okay. And then go with that. So I would say suggesting to do that on a couple of simple decisions first, going with your gut. What this is going to do is to allow you to feel into it. It's going to give you the practice. Then you're going to see what the outcome was like. If the outcome is amazing, now you build more confidence in going with your gut. Okay? Another way, another tool you can use is by what's called the human pendulum. This one, I like them both. I like this one because I find this one to be quite fun. Another one where you're standing. So what you do is you stand neutral, okay? Then you start by asking, same thing, yes and no questions that you already know the answer to. Like, my name is Jen, okay? As I'm standing forward, what I end up doing is I sway or lean to the front, lean forward if the answer is yes, and I lean backwards if the answer is no. Okay. So I say things like, is my name Jen? And I just wait. Is my name Jen? Yep. I lean forward. Is my name George? And my body leans backward. Okay. Should I be a vegetarian? Oh, my body leaned forward on that one. All right. I'm going to start being a vegetarian. Do I like the winter? Yep. Body leans forward. Leading these women's circles, is this a good idea for me? Yep. Okay. So if you want, if you're going to engage with me at a deeper level, if you can, while you're listening to this, is to stand up right now. Stand up right now. Do this with me. Stand up, find your neutral place, no swaying forward and backwards. And you can say, ask a question that you already know the answer to, that the answer is yes. Is my favorite color red? Yep. Do I love my podcast? Yep. Okay. So then ask questions that you know the answer is no. Another really fun thing to do is to include somebody else in your question. Like this. Like, let's say your partner, your husband, your wife, your cousin, your sister, whatever, they're holding a number up, like on their hands. They're standing behind you and they're holding a number up on their hands behind you. Okay. And they're not going to cheat. They are truly going to keep the number on their hand. Let's say they have the number 7 on their hands, and you are asking your intuition to tap into their intuition so you could get the answer. And then you stand neutral, and they're behind you, so you can't see the number. And you say, is that a number 5? I lean back. No. Okay. Not number 5. Is it a number 9? No. My body immediately goes back. Is it a number 7? Yes. And I turn around, they should be holding up a number 7. That is a really fun way to work with your intuition. This is all about you tapping into you. It's about faith and trust, trusting in this guidance system. And as you practice these different tools, it is not me telling you you should turn left. It is you telling you you should turn left. Now, I want you to understand something. There really is no right or wrong way to do this. It really is just a way that you can start to improve the communication with your higher self or with God or with source energy. And I'm telling you, it is such a beautiful thing because it really helps you to be more confident in your decisions. But it also allows you to build this confidence with this being so you'll never feel alone when it comes to making decisions in your life. It is such a beautiful experience. I have had my intuition yell in my face about things. Like I told you, we were at a water park in town, and this was a good handful of years ago. And we were at a water park in town, and an indoor water park with the boys. And I was ducking under this, I was up in the water park getting ready to go down one of the big slides, and I had ducked under this, I don't know, part of the play structure, and immediately heard my intuition say, don't do that again. And I ignored it. And what had happened is my back seized up, and I was like straight on my back, for not kidding, 2 weeks. And it was an excruciating experience. But here's an experience and a perfect example of I didn't listen to my intuition. So was there a lesson in there? Yes, of course. But did it build me some confidence? Yes, it did. Because now when my intuition speaks to me, I freaking listen. So this can add a lot to your confidence just in general. That way you don't have to ask somebody else. I don't have to ask Amy what I should do with business. I ask my higher self. Amy doesn't know. She doesn't know where I am in space and time and where I'm supposed to go. She can't say what exactly your purpose is. I can't say what hers is. We are very close, and we are a couple, and we are in love, but still there's this deeper level of our being that we just can't answer for each other. I can't be her intuition, but I can guide her. I can guide her to these tools, and I can support her in this, just as I'm trying to support you in tapping into your own intuition. So give these couple exercises a try, see how they work for you, and post in our group. We are in Lady Rising or Chakras for Beginners. We're actively involved in those groups. Let us know which exercise you did, what questions you asked, and what your answers were and what the outcome was. By doing this, you are supporting other women just like you who are trying to make it, who are trying to end their suffering and make better decisions and ultimately reach a life full of joy and prosperity and happiness. And that's what I want for you. So please share your success and your struggles. Ask the questions in these groups. I would love to be able to assist you and also celebrate with you. I don't want you to feel like you're just listening to this podcast and you're all by yourself. Our groups are full of supporting women as we go along. We're building community. We're trying to change the world. We're trying to help support each other as we go along on this journey. So I hope you'll join me. I hope you sign in to either Chakras for Beginners on Facebook or the Lady Rising group and share with us what exercises you're doing, what questions you asked, and what the outcome was. If you liked this episode, please share this with 3 of your friends. And if you like this episode and look forward to future episodes, please consider making a small monthly donation to help support this podcast. If you're looking for a community to join and have more access to me, then consider joining one of my communities. Chakras for Beginners is an energy-based community that is highly active and growing every day. Lady Rising is a sistership community where the focus is on spiritual support and empowerment. We hold monthly calls and talk about topics just as like today's episode. We also have an online store where we can meet your meditation and chakra needs with products for your journey. You can visit us at www.themeditationroomtc.com. Thank you for joining me and being a valued listener.